The breaking news from U of L's basketball program. The head coach suspended by the school today. A former assistant coach sentenced for extortion, and a recording of an explosive conversation between the two just released. We have team coverage from sports director Ken Spencer on Chris Mack's suspension. L. Smith was in federal court as the ex-assistant coach Dino Gaudio was sentenced. But first, that recording WHAS 11 News got from U of L late today. It is the conversation that led to Guadio being federally charged for attempting to extort money from the university. Here's what it says.
Between me and you, dude, me and you could go tell Vince, hey Vince, Dino's, I don't care what you got, Dino's my guy. I'm gonna pay him for a year and a half. He could retire at 66, and I'm gonna take care of him. That's what we could do. And you know what? That's what we're gonna do. Or else, I'm going to f***ing John Carnes. I'm going to f***ing Tim Sullivan. I'm going to Billis, Vital, Frischillo, all those guys. So that's the way this is going to go down, dude.
The actual recording there, Guadio threatened to go to the NCAA and the news media, as you could see there, about alleged violations if he didn't get paid his salary for a year and a half. Coach Mack, who was the one who recorded that exchange, and late today, the university announcing it's suspending the coach for 6 games as well. Ken Spencer is here on the reason why and what the university said about it late this afternoon. Kent?
Yeah, Doug, like you just said, Chris Mack suspended 6 games without pay, which will cost him $221,000. Vince Tyree says the decision was made by both him and U of L President Neely Bendapudi. The university says they concluded that while Mack was a victim of an extortion attempt by Dino Gaudio, Mack failed to follow university guidelines, policies, procedures in handling the matter. Tyree says Mack wasn't the one who alerted the FBI. So what did he do wrong? Mack didn't have anybody in the room with him when he fired Guadio and another assistant coach, Luke Murray. I asked Tyree if the suspension is connected to the allegations Guadio made and the ongoing NCAA process.
No, this is independent of the NCAA issues. This is thinking about how we need to operate the program better in a different way. Chris was faced with a difficult scenario, if you guys have now heard, but we feel like there was the ability to avoid and mitigate what happened if we had just followed the procedures.
In a statement released by the university, Mack says, quote, "I regret that any of my unintentional actions or failures to follow university guidelines have brought unnecessary attention to our outstanding athletics programs and university." Mack says he agrees with the suspension, which will last from November 8th through the 27th. Now, if you're wondering why 6 games, Tyree says to coaches, games matter, and the university wants to send a message. Ken Spencer, WHAS 11 News.
Ken, thank you very much. Well, not long after that announcement, the former U of L assistant coach Dino Gaudio was sentenced in federal court. In the end, he gets a light sentence from the federal judge. WHAS 11's L. Smith was there covering what the judge said about this case, and his comments were very telling.
Yes, they were. Guadio was sentenced to 1-year probation with a $10,000 fine, which his lawyer said he was pleased with. Today, Guadio in court addressed the judge, saying he made an error in judgment and he was taking responsibility for those actions. Now in June, as part of a plea deal, Guadio pleaded guilty to a federal charge for interstate communication with intent to extort. In March, he and fellow assistant coach Luke Murray's contracts were not renewed for the upcoming season. That's when Guadio allegedly tried to extort money from the university and hurt the school's reputation, threatening to report the basketball program had violated NCAA rules in its recruiting videos unless the school paid him his monthly salary of $25,000 for an additional 17 months or provide a lump sum.
This happened solely because he got angry and he made these statements because he felt betrayed and he felt that he had given up a job that he loved to come to Louisville, and he poured heart and soul into this program, and the reward was to be fired a year from when he was going to retire.
Now, when asked if Guadio still stood by those concerns about potential NCAA violations within U of L basketball, Butler said Guadio and his legal team still stand by everything they said. Now, the judge presiding over the case, Judge Benjamin Beaton, said he took into the consideration Guadio had no previous record and the exorbitant amount of letters that were submitted on Gaudio's behalf. He also went as far to say that this case should have never been a federal case to begin with. For WHAS, I'm L. Smith.